The pen, Hooked and Lindo, as we kick things off and Pat Montague show. And you know, the reggae music fraternity is reeling from the passing of one of our icons, Stephen Cat Coore. And as I was reflecting on Cat and his life and work, I actually came across a conversation he and I had some 11 years ago, right? Yeah, in 2015. So I thought I would just go ahead and share that conversation with you. That's coming up later on in the show. So make sure you stay with us here when we have that conversation. Looking at today, we're celebrating elementary school teachers, National Popcorn Day, and of course, it is Martin Luther King Jr. Day as well. Happy birthday going out to some special people, including James Watt, who in Edmund Poe, the poet, painter Paul Cézanne, Jamaican Pan-Africanist, lawyer, politician, diplomat, Dudley Thompson was born 109 years ago today, one of the first black pilots in the Royal Air Force in World War II, also known for assembling that team to defend Jomo Kenyatta at the 1952 treason trial for his role in Kenya's Mau Mau Rebellion. Philip Everly from the Everly Brothers, born today, singer Janis Joplin. Dolly Parton, born today as well. Karen Wheeler from Soul to Soul, singer Deborah Glasgow. Junior Seau, the football player. Trey Lorenz, the singer. Sean Wayans, the actor, comedian. And I'd like to say a happy birthday going out to some special friends of mine celebrating birthday today. Patricia Chung and Sister Moy. Happy birthday. And here's Sister Moy, the birthday girl. Reaching out to all the women today. Want to say hi to Minella Fortune checking us out this afternoon as well. All my friends on all the various platforms, great to have you all. She's a problem solver. She is not defeated. She just is right. Believing herself now is her strength. She now with the burning desire. Self-respect, honesty, she's motivated. She is a woman of the world. Yeah. Strong woman of the world. Yeah. Want to welcome Merlene Jackson to our show today, too. Sylvia, nice to have you. TJ Frequency. Yvette for Justice. Michael Lucky. Celebrating Sister Moy on her birthday today with her big song, Woman. DJ D-Mix. Thanks for joining. I'm going to say thank you to a strong woman that we admire, Vice Mayor of Miramar, Yvette Colburn, putting together some great events coming up and activities for you to participate in. This Saturday, there's going to be a community resource expo and walk of food distribution, and you can learn about the many Miramar and Broward County programs and services available to residents and neighboring communities. It is going to be at the Alexandra P. Davis Multi-Service Complex, 6700 Miramar Parkway in Miramar. So you can check that out. You can register if you would like ahead of time. Actually, they would prefer that so they know how many people are coming, so they have all the resources in place for you at mscoutreachevent.eventbrite.com. That's the Community Resource Expo and Walk-Up Food Distribution on Saturday, January 24th, hosted by Vice Mayor of Miramar, Yvette Colburn. Also, if you know a high schooler who might be looking to go to college, there's a scholarship application open right now. The deadline to apply is on January 30th. You can apply now. You can go to the miramar.gov website and find out more information on that. And also coming up for Women's History Month, which will be March, celebrating Miramar women making history. And you can nominate the various people that you think are deserving of that award. The deadline is February 6th. Also go to miramarfl.gov. That's miramarfl.gov for more information. And we want to salute Vice Mayor Yvette Colburn for these very great initiatives for the community. Let me go ahead and just shine the light a little bit on some of the people who help us to be here with you. And then when we come back, that great conversation I had 11 years ago with Cat Coore, as we remember him in his passing.
Family in town, dinner at your house, or you need to take something for the holiday potluck. Spend time with your guests, not in the kitchen. Get your holiday meal catered by Coore Seafood Catering. Traditional or jerk turkey, all your favorite Jamaican items like oxtail, curry goat, jerk chicken, one item or the full meal. Complimentary vegetable platter with your order if you mention this ad. Catering for special events. Call Coore Seafood Catering at 954-676-5700. Hey family, guess what? Barrel shipping to Jamaica just got so much easier with JP Logistics Solutions. They deliver straight to the port in Kingston from South Florida. Fast, easy, and reliable. Take advantage of their special $60 rate to Kingston, Jamaica with guaranteed weekly sailings. Enjoy door-to-door delivery in Jamaica, a flat collection rate from most South Florida locations, and full clearance in Kingston. No hassle, no stress. You can even schedule your pickup time, just 2-day transit. Call 305-885-0558 or 876-483-7263 or email sales@jplsusa.com. That's JP Logistics Solutions, making shipping and logistics simple.
Transform your bathroom with a beautiful quality of Bath Planet. As a trusted leader in bathroom innovation, Bath Planet has earned the Good Housekeeping seal, a symbol of quality and consumer confidence for over 100 years. Get help with installation or 18 months with no interest and no payments. Whether it's tub replacement, a shower replacement, or a tub to shower conversion, Bath Planet makes your custom bath fast, easy, and affordable. Here's how it works. 1. Call to schedule your free, no obligation consultation. 2. Our design experts come to you with real samples to customize your dream bath. 3. Our certified installers complete the transformation in as little as 1 day. And right now, for a limited time, you can upgrade your bathroom for 50% off installation or choose 18 months with no interest and no payments. But you need to call now. This special offer is only available by calling 800-430-1186. That's 800-430-1186. Call 800-430-1186 right now before the offer ends.
And I'm so happy that Love Butterflies got a chance to join us today. Lady Jess also, and Cat Climax, Taj H Multimedia. Nice to have you all my friends on all the various platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, my YouTube channel. Today is, one of those days that we are just reeling because, one of our favorite iconic musicians, entertainers, founder of Third World Band, Coore. We were awakened to the news this morning that he passed away unexpectedly yesterday afternoon. And, I was kind of, mulling through, processing the whole thing. And then I was just going through some stuff and realized I had this conversation that I had with Kat 11 years ago. Let me set the scene for you. We were getting ready for the Grace Jamaican Jerk Festival. Third World was going to be performing on the show. They were celebrating 42 years at that time in the music business. So Kat came into studio and hung out with me, and we had really, I think maybe one of the best conversations, one of the best interviews I've ever done, and most enjoyable for me at any rate. And it was just an amazing conversation. So I thought that, in memory of Kat and just to kind of get through it all, remembering the good times. Here's my conversation from all those years ago with Stephen Cat Coore.
Cat Coore from Third World is in the studio with us. Good afternoon, Cat. Welcome to the program.
Thanks very much. It's a pleasure to be here, Pat.
Okay, now, so it's been how many years for Third World?
42.
Does it seem that long to you, or do you remember that very first day, the first time the band ever got together?
Well, I tell you, it doesn't really seem that long, but, within the scope of thinking that, it's been a lot of music, a lot of great times, and some very difficult times as well. And, in life, all of us take the good and the bad, and we try our best to, as we say, soldier on through whatever, and then when the good times come, we try our best to make the best of it. So I think that it doesn't really seem that long to me because of the nature of the music business and the fact that all of us in Third World, all the members, from the ones who were there at the very beginning to the ones who are here now, we enjoy what we do. And that tends to soften the length of the, it really makes you feel that why you're very blessed because you're doing something that you do. So many people have jobs or have something doing that they're not particularly into it, but it's a way to make money, it's a way to feed their families and to keep on going. So they have to do it. But blessed for me that music is my love or my passion, and I can do that, and I can speak by doing that. So I'm very grateful.
Take me back to 42 years ago. How did this band come about?
Well, it really started with the fact that as youngsters, we were very influenced by, my own story is quite extraordinary because my mother was a music teacher. So I had music running in my whole history from I was 5-6 years old. I was playing the cello. I was being fed a diet of a lot of music, from Sparrow to Dave Marius on the piano to all sorts of classical music, all sorts of stuff, Harry Belafonte, Ella Fitzgerald, all that stuff was played in my home. So based on that background, by the time I reached about 11, 12 years old, it was the Beatles era, and everybody was going crazy about pop music now. So I sort of morphed my whole classical training and everything into that, started to listen to pop records that my older brothers would have played at the time. And I also got to know a lot of reggae music because at those times it was just the Rolling Stones and the Beatles and stuff, but it was also listening to people like Delmon Decker, Toots and the Maytals, and sometimes shortly thereafter Bob Marley.
If you're just joining our broadcast, just putting it in context that I'm sharing with you a conversation I had with Cat Coore from 11 years ago. Of course, Cat passed away yesterday, and we just thought that it would be nice to hear him in his own words. That's what we're sharing with you this afternoon. So we appreciate you all for being a part of our program, and I hope you enjoy this conversation as much as I enjoyed sharing it with Cat.
Well, of course, it's a huge influence on my life and on all of us who have been reggae soldiers through the years. So it would have really started there, and then I began to develop myself as a guitar player. And when I was 13 years old, I had an opportunity to join the circle because the guitarist who was there with them was Richard Gray, and he left to go and study medicine in America, and the position became open. But even though I was a youngster and was not able to do all the stuff that Inner Circle was doing at the time, in terms of like, I couldn't go during the week and play because I was going to school, so it was a weekend for me, but I was able to get into Inner Circle, and I was able to start understanding band music, understanding what a band is all about, understanding what Jamaican music, reggae music, playing at places like Meritone. It helped to develop my whole being as a player, as a band member.
Imagine that you're 13 years old and you're going to high school, but in your spare time, what are you doing? Playing with the legendary Inner Circle Band. That was the talent of Cat Coore, and he displayed that over the years. Having our conversation with him from 11 years ago, or sharing that conversation with you here on our program this afternoon as we mourn his passing.
And then, time went on. 2 years I was with them. I was with them from I was 13 till I was 17. And at 17 years old, I decided that, boy, I really want to stretch myself out. I want to write our own songs and so on, and not just be a cover band.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole idea of the Third World thing started there. I put together some friends of mine, Colin Leslie and Carl Barovia were the first two. And Imu, who was in the Inner Circle at the time, came over and said, look, you're not starting this band without me. So then now the genesis, that was it. And of course, Imu having been leader of Inner Circle meant that he brought that leadership experience with him to Third World. Mm-hmm. And being an older brother to me, he had to guide me in a lot of ways in terms of like understanding harmony singing and understanding a lot of stuff about how people deal with playing in a band. When playing in a band, you have to be so conscious of the other people around you. Mm-hmm. You can't play too loud, you can't overdo this, you can't just decide you want solo when you want solo. You have to be conscious of the singing, you have to be conscious of the drumming, you have to be conscious of it. So I learned that through the older heads like people and to some degree, Colin, who had been in a band called Visions, mm-hmm. and that was also a top Jamaican group. And pretty much from there, the whole Third World thing started to develop. We started to write our own material, and then we got involved with a manager called Evan Williams. And Evan was so impressed with us that he suggested that we try to get to England. He had a friend in England who we thought would be of great help to us, called Alan Sturdy. So we packed up the boys and we trusted some air tickets. And we went over to London and bumped up with Alan Sturdy on the floor of his flat.
Mm-hmm.
And we begun to make a serious try at it.
Mm-hmm.
We got a couple of gigs in North London. I remember playing at a place called the Norite, which was one of the very early shows that we did. And people who were there were very impressed. And it started from there to snowball until we got Chris Blackwell to come to one of our shows.
Mm-hmm.
And that really was where we really got the break right there.
And for those of you who may not know, Chris Blackwell, of course, one of the people instrumental in teaching Jamaican reggae music, not only third world like we're hearing Bob Marley and the Wailers and so on. So for them to hook up with Chris Blackwell and for him to come on was really an amazing thing to happen.
Coming to Ireland with us and talk to him, and he would see what he could do to help us get our career started. And lo and behold, we signed a record contract with him. We did our first album as titled Third World, the Green One with the Lady and the Donkey, which that was like on and other tunes.
Mm-hmm.
And we just took it from there, and then we had albums with Ireland right up until Horizon in Harmony, and then for some reason the relationship with Ireland became not sour, but
Uncomfortable, maybe.
yeah, a little bit uncomfortable. And CBS was very interested in us, and so we made the jump from Ireland Records over to CBS, which was a great jump for us because we had a big hit with Ireland, All That We Found Love, which was probably our biggest record ever.
Their biggest record ever, Now That We Found Love. Third World, remembering Coore, who passed away yesterday. Sharing a conversation we had with him in 2011. The music lives on though.
And also 96 Degrees, which is probably our best known record.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Now That We Found Love is more famous in terms of record sales and charting, but 96 Degrees, I think, is what the band is really known for.
It's like a signature song.
Yeah, the band is really known for that. But in getting over to CBS, our first album we had success with a song called Dancing on the Floor, which went into the top 5 on British chart. And thereafter we had the following album, we had Try to Love.
Mm-hmm.
And that was also a great record for us because not only was it a collaboration with Stevie Wonder, but it also went platinum in Japan.
My favorite third world song of all time.
Yes, yes. And that we were the first band from the Caribbean to go platinum in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So Bob hadn't done that yet.
Mm-hmm.
However, Bob was the first one to tour there.
Okay.
Right. But we were the ones who had the big hit record there first. And then, of course, Japan is a huge market for Jamaican music. Particularly dance hall is very big there. And just, the history from there is probably well known, and we probably know enough to go over that because, after that we had Uncommitted, and we had Reggae Ambassador, and we're no strangers to Miami, really. We've spent a lot of time in Miami. And in fact, right now the group rehearses here and the group records here.
What is it like being a part of a band? You alluded to it a little bit earlier in the conversation, but like you said, different personalities, everybody brings something different to the table. How are you able to work together to, make a song, to perform together all these years?
Well, that's the whole point of it. You really have to get along with each other. You have to have mutual respect for people and for what they believe in and for what you believe in. I mean, you can't just have somebody in the band who, because they're very good at what they do, that you just take anything that they give. That every person has to be totally cognizant of the next person and respect everybody's ideas and goals. It's very, very important that happens. Otherwise, you never stay together. And so many bands break up because of simple little misunderstandings and stupidness. And we have somehow been able to weather that. And I think that one of the reasons is the brand, The Third World, is such a strong brand that the ones who come among us, like when you are willing to have those people who come among us, they understand. And so, that is what lends itself to that glue, that energy that keeps us together, keeps us still relevant to this day.
What's been the most challenging part of keeping the band together for the 40 years?
I would say the most challenging part is that you have good days and bad days. Some days you can't always be on the chart, you can't always be the top dog in the thing. And right now, at 42 years old, we are really considered veterans and, old school and all these kind of names. But we see ourselves as just really very iconic musicians who have just stuck to it and just done what we have to do. Yes, our hair is getting a little bit gray, but we can still go on any stage in any format and still perform.
Of course, this was 11 years ago, so Third World actually celebrating 53 years now. Unfortunately, moving ahead without Cat Coore, who passed away yesterday. So we're going to continue to share more parts of this conversation that we had with Cat, and we're just celebrating his memory and just lauding him for the great musician and contributor to reggae music that he was all these years.
And the Drug Festival that's coming up with, that's part of the whole thing. I mean, there are a lot of acts there coming on the Drug Festival who are much younger than us and we're popular, but we're still holding our own.
Speaking of live performances, I'm not a live performance person, generally speaking, but one of my favorite live performances of all time, I don't know if you remember the show, it was some years ago, Third World at the Ritz-Carlton.
In Jamaica?
Yes, in Jamaica. It was an intimate show. It was not a humongous thing. It was like a only specially invited guest thing. And you guys just blew me away when I said you interchange the instruments, the way you introduce the classical music. I mean, I loved Third World before, but after I was like, definitely. I would call it any Third World live performance. That's why I'm looking forward to the Jerk Festival because I like seeing you all on stage because the performance, it's like the music is a part of you and you're a part of the music and a part of the audience. Tell me a little bit about, how that evolves for you.
Well, I think one of the things about Third World is that back in the day we did a show called Explantations where we merged theater and music together.
Mm-hmm.
That was an interesting, project, and it sort of set us aside from all the other bands because what it did was it brought us the showmanship into the band.
Mm-hmm.
That's how all those interchanging of instruments and bringing in classical music, that's where that all had its roots.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of these things that has set us apart from all the other groups that come out of Jamaica, and therefore based on that, it's something that we have built on through the ages, and now it has reached a stage where people say, "Are you going to play the cello?" And I just don't even answer because there's no way I can go and say, "I'm not playing the cello."
I'm not playing the cello, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, those things have given us a unique look, a uniqueness, as it were. And it has helped us a lot. It has helped to carry not only the brand Third World, but it's also helped me as an individual to develop a very well-known personality as a musician, which I'm also thankful for. And it has also helped the band's longevity.
What's the most rewarding moment being a part of Third World?
There are many rewarding moments. I think getting the platinum album in Japan has to be really high on the charts. Mm-hmm. Also, a rewarding moment was being able to actually work with one. That was a very, very poignant moment in our life. And also, I think having our first hit record, Now We Found Love, that changed our lives completely. It went from a situation where we were playing in small clubs, 400 people and stuff. All of a sudden, we were at the British charts, we were in the top 10, we were touring all over Europe, we were selling out the Rainbow Theatre in London, it was an overnight thing that really took us a little bit by surprise, I think. And I think even though we were a little young, we weathered it and we took it in stride. And, it's one of these things that don't happen every day. People don't just keep making hit records. And when you get one, you give thanks and praise for it, and you keep on grinding, you know.
Was there ever a time that we would have not heard from the anymore? And on in terms of, was there ever a time we said, okay, we're gonna pack all of this up and
No,
move on to other things?
no. One of the things.
Okay. Oh,
Move on to
that
career insurance,
that was the next question I was gonna ask you. Suppose,
banking maybe, chef, maybe a chef.
suppose there hadn't been a third one, what would Kat be doing? What's your next favorite thing in life to do apart from music?
Something in sport. I
Ah,
would have been a commentator or something like that. You know, I'm very into sport. But I think if I had not been in the third world, I would have done something in music or the theatre primarily.
ah.
That's where the arts field is really where my whole heart and my headspace is at.
Cat Coore, from an interview that I had with him 11 years ago, and I'm just processing his passing and just sharing the great good memories that because for me personally, I think that conversation that Kat and I had was one of the best moments because I do a lot of interviews and sometimes, they can be kind of a little rough here, whatever. This one was just so smooth and easy. The rapport between us, he was so, open and articulate and I really enjoyed the conversation. So I'm hoping that you're enjoying me sharing with you as well.
You're our friends on Facebook, and you've been very vocal, particularly about the school shootings and so on, and what we need to do to address that and all that. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think that there are two schools of thought in this country, and one of them is that it's part of your inalienable right to carry a gun.
Mm-hmm.
And the other school of thought is that, boy, it's time for people to get serious about gun control.
Mm-hmm.
My money is on the latter because I really can't see whereby this thing keeps happening over and over and over again to the point where the president gets up and says it's becoming routine for him
Mm-hmm.
to get up and say there's been another shooting in the school.
Right.
So I think that America really needs to look at itself, take a hard look and say, what do we want? Yes, we should have the right to bear arms, but in a modern world of 2015, do we really have to bear arms? I mean, is that something we really have to do? I mean, look at countries in Europe where police don't even carry arms on the road, I mean,
And their crime rate is much less than
Much
ours,
lower,
and they're
much
not
lower.
having all of these school shootings and so on.
absolutely, and not only school shooting, but cities like Chicago have tremendous rate of crime, shooting, and guns just available, and people just have it on their bed, and this man don't like this man, and immediately a shot fire, and, I think it's gotten out of hand, really, and I think America is far too great a country to be plagued with that sort of rubbish. I mean, look at the technology this country has. Look at the great people, the wealth, the opportunities, and so many people come from all around the world. They want to get to America. People have opportunity when they go to America. Jamaica is a lower lining up at the end of the Kingston to try and come to America. And America can't control, people going to school and shooting the kids. 21 tiny little tots get killed in a school, in a street shooting. It happens too much for me personally to say anything else, but it's time for a change. That's basically what I'm talking about.
And you come from a strong legacy of people, serving your country and so on in the political arena. Your father is one of the best statesmen Jamaica has ever seen. Has there ever been a thought in your mind that you want to get into active politics and make some changes there?
I think I'm a little too old for that now, to be honest with you. I would have liked to have done that when I was in my 30s or early 40s.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, climbing the hill I'm climbing here now, I think that I would more be someone who would like to be like in your position, maybe on the radio,
Mm-hmm.
doing something of that nature. But in terms of active politics, to run for a seat at this time, no. I think that the younger people who can serve the best years of their life, give the country the best years of their life, I think they should be the ones picking up the mantle. But at the same time, Pat, I think that getting into it too young is another side to the coin too, because you need a little experience really to deal with people and to deal with politics and to deal with situations and legislation and so on. A lot of people that get into politics in Jamaica, they're not ready. They're not properly schooled in what the whole constitution of Jamaica, the vibration, the whole vibes of what life is about, the whole vibes of, they just don't have the experience yet. So I think getting in too young is a problem, but getting in too old is a problem too. You know, our governors should be, I think, at an age where they can have the energy and the ability to work really hard, because it really takes all the moments in life. You know, you don't have a moment for yourself when you're in politics. I saw that with my father, you know. And I think that when you can really give, and I also think that this business of being able to run 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms, I think that is something Jamaica should look at. I think that's one thing we could take from America. I don't think anybody should serve as a leader more than 2, maybe 3 terms, but no more than that.
If you're just joining us here on 11:70 a.m., our guest on Iceland is Coore from Third World. They're getting ready for their big performance on the Great Jamaican Jerk Festival coming up inside of Markham Park on Sunday, November 8th. And you mentioned a little bit about, you know, some of the young people who are going to, or younger artists who are going to be on the show and so on. Who do you listen to generally when you're not listening to Third World music or you're not in the studio making your own? Well, who do you like?
Well, I like the Marleys a lot. You know, I like Damien and Steve. I like Ziggy too, but I think that Damien, Steve, and Julian are the ones who I really gravitate to most because not only am I very close to Damien, but I found him to be a super duper person in terms of like how he has taken his blessing from his dad and how he has made that work for him. And I really have a tremendous amount of respect for their work ethic. They're very hard workers and they're very serious about what they do. And right now, Third World is working with them. And I don't know if you got Imasca, the first thing we did.
Yes. I was going to say that in our conversation.
Right. So that's where we're on with him. And we really, so this first effort that we did in Imasca, it's really not one of these, it's not one of these, I don't want to put it in I want to phrase it right. It's not one of these hit record type efforts. What it is showing the old Third World style, the harmonies and the good musicianship and all that stuff.
Can I just play it right now?
Yeah, man, take it.
That's Coore with us here inside the Icons and WAZ at 11:70 a.m.
Conversation from 11 years ago with Coore. Johnny Tiger, one of the finest to do this reggae music thing. We will miss you.
Let him be praised up to your name. Keep it up, humble, you must God. Glory to Jah, let him be praised. He will take us by the hand and lead us to the one.
Reggae music has lost one of its finest players of instruments, and he played quite a number of instruments. Coore, very, very talented, classically trained, but loved the music so much he gave 50-something years.
Does sound like, you know, I mean, original Third World, the whole feeling, the vibe, and so on. So, tell me about the genesis of this song.
Well, this song is a Abyssinian classic, and Third World had done Satama Sangana, which is another Abyssinian classic, and therefore, in that light, this is the song that we love that we played when we were very early in our career. We played Satama Sangana and this one, and so we figured that this would be nice to do in the same style that we did our very first record of this type, which was the Green Album. You know, the very first song in that album is Satama Sangana. with the night creatures start and the long introduction, the music, and it's just very musical, you know. So that was what this was all about. And we have other stuff coming with Damien too, which is probably more mainstream. You know, something that as you put the needle on, you know right away what's going on. You know what I mean? This is more like a listening song, you know. And I'm very pleased with it. I'm very, very happy with it. And we did a video for it. Rascaster produced it, who's a brilliant Jamaican director. And yeah, it's great. We're doing more work with Damien, and I'm spending quite a bit of time down here now because, you know, this project with Damien is taking a lot of my time and the band's time. And we rehearse here, right here in Fort Lauderdale. So I'm spending a lot of time here now, and I have a lot of friends here. I'm picking up all of them, you know, all the ways listeners and sending love.
And I know you're looking forward to the Great Jamaican Jerk Festival November 8th. What's your favorite jerk item? So if I was going to make jerk for you, what should I jerk?
A chicken.
Jerk chicken.
Yeah, but that feels good.
Well, excuse me. So are we going to be in the cook-off and each other or something?
Yeah, we can do it. Now gets more. I know. Very good at jerk.
What if you can take me?
I think it.
That is definitely one for the books, right? But Coore, thanks so much for being our special guest here on Icons on this Friday afternoon. Just a text from someone that says, one of your best icons ever, real informative and easy to listen. So
Nice.
for being such an easy guest, allowing me to have such an easy conversation, and we look forward to the next time that we will have you here in studio, maybe the whole band will be here.
Oh, we'd love to do that, man.
Awesome.
We'd love to do that.
Awesome. So,
And I guess we'll book up on the jerk.
yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Yeah, man. And just encouraging everyone to come and show some love for the jerk festival. I mean, I know from still around with people, but
Tell me, right?
yeah. Come, as a matter of fact, let's approach it differently. Come early so that you get into the park without much hassle
And they have nice spots.
and get a nice spot because it's going to be great. I think the entertainment will be wonderful. I understand Barrington leaving had a slight bout of sickness, but I understand that he's good and he'll be there and everything will be great. So looking forward, guys, looking forward.
Looking forward to seeing you on stage there also, Kat, and the rest of the third world. And all the best with all the new stuff that you're coming with. I mean, if this first song is any indication of the rest of what's to come, I know we're in for a third world treat.
Yeah, man, you're in for something special. Trust me. And thanks a lot again for having me.
Awesome. I'm going to end the conversation with my favorite third world song. You know,
Okay.
I created indulgence on that one.
I know which one it is. Try it out.
Yeah.
My very, very amazing conversation with Coore from 11 years ago, as today we, along with the rest of the world, mourn his passing. But I know he's having a good time with Ruggs, Bob, and all of the rest of those who have entered the ancestral plane out of the reggae music fraternity. One of the signature songs that mark the magnificent work that Third World has done over 50-something years. 11 years ago, it was 42 years. So this year marks 53 years of their contributions to taking reggae music all over the world, celebrating it in fine style. Rest in peace, Coore. You will definitely be missed. Hey, interestingly enough, today marks the anniversary of when Bob Marley, John Lennon, Rod Stewart, the Grateful Dead, the Animals, the band, Dwayne Eddy, and Elton John were all inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We lost in 2006 soul singer Wilson Pickett, who died in a hospital near his Ashburn, Virginia home of a heart attack. He was only 64 years old. From the Mamas and Papas, Denny Darty also died on today's date in 2007 after a short illness. He was 66 when he passed away. And we say, rest in peace to the one and only Mr. Winston Riley, singer-songwriter and record producer, who was shot in the head at his home in Kingston and was in a coma since the shooting. He died on today's date. Winston Riley, of course, formed the band The Techniques in 1962, and his song Double Barrel, performed by Dave and Ansel Collins under his own production, was one of the first international reggae hits, reaching number one in the Dutch and UK singles charts. Rest in peace, Winston Riley. Paying tribute to the foundation, remembering Winston Techniques Riley. And that's a whole nother show in itself of all of the great songs that he both performed in as part of the Techniques, produced, wrote. This business of reggae has made its impact on the world. I'm so happy that I get a front row seat and get a chance to communicate with, share time with, and just really, really be a part of this fraternity. I'm going to miss Coore immensely. I miss all those who have come and gone. And I really salute those who are continuing all of the work. Here is the double barrel song that I was telling you about. Been kind of a bittersweet afternoon for us here on today's program, because we shared a really, really fabulous conversation that we had with Cat Coore. But of course, it's because he passed away yesterday, and as much as his music will live on throughout the ages, we're gonna miss Cat. His irrepressible personality. He was such a warm, intelligent, and hilarious person. If you spent any amount of time with Cat, you always went away from, being around him feeling much better about your life, the day, the music, and all of that. So, yeah. But the music lives on, And I have a new song from Anthony Cruz that I think just kind of captures how we all feel about this reggae and this music and this business that we're in.
music and the heartbeat of the ghetto. So we have a true problem sometimes with the music and we get some stress. You see what I mean? Me have to hear some reggae music, so I can start my day. Reggae music and putting on my playlist. I listen to all day. Me have to hear some reggae music, so I can start my day. Reggae music and putting on my playlist. I listen to all day. When I am stressed out and I'm feeling blue, wondering what to do, I try to revive from a 9 to 5, trying to hold a good vibe. And reggae music is what I turn to, found to the root of my soul. Erase my problems, set my spirit free, boost up my energy. Me have to hear some reggae music, so I can start my day. Reggae music, I put in a playlist. I listen to all day. Me have to hear some reggae music, so I can start my day. Reggae music, I put in a playlist. I listen to all day. I like every music from pop to rock and roll. But if you only want a vibe, reggae music rock my boat. You can hear from the top from the left. But if you go when it comes from the zone, from your car, from your book, from your top. Select a pull up. Me have to hear some reggae music, so I can start my day. Reggae music, I put in a playlist. I listen to all day. Me have to hear some reggae music, so I can start my day. Reggae music, I put in a playlist. I listen to all day. When I am stressed out and I'm feeling blue, wondering what to do, I try to revive from a 9 to 5, trying to hold a good vibe. And reggae music is what I turn to, found to the root of my soul. Erase my problems, set my spirit free, boost up my energy. Me have to hear some reggae music, so I can start my day. Reggae music, I put in a playlist. I listen to all day. Me have to hear some reggae music, so I can start my day. Reggae music, I put in a playlist. I listen to all day. Me have to hear some reggae music, so I can start my day. Reggae music, I put in a playlist. I listen to all day. Me have to hear some reggae music. We have to play some reggae music. Start my day, end my day, during my day. I want to thank all the people who continue to make good reggae music. Let me close things off today with this one from Busy Signal. Reggae music playing in every country, every oldies, dance all amongst in every party, every melody. Reggae music playing in every country, yeah, set every oldies, dance all one of in every party, yeah. Music with the vibes, the positive message. Say anywhere you go, anywhere you go, spread love in the city. Best time when the music is around we people can't get with the girls, get some energy. Yes, this was meant to be, even from the Almighty. Reggae music brings some sweet melody. Reggae music playing every country. Dance all about everybody. Reggae music playing every country. Fans are weak, we get a second one. Forget your problems and stress no more. And reggaeton song about the cure. Hey, when we are the days when the boss and the snare up. Some stay up from 7 o'clock. We have to enjoy ourselves till all the night. Straight up the sun come shining down. Everybody gather around. This music is so profound. Let the music play.